It's your boy Triple Black, aka the number one stunners, aka the boss, aka three black hearses. It's murder. Anyways, man, holla at your boy. We back in the building, man. Hey, I got a good idea, man. I'm about to go set up the Kevin Samuels uh chat line. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna chop it up. I want to get in one of these groups. So people can air out their grievances and stuff like that. I'm gonna set that shit all up. You hear me? Anyways, man. Vagina power, man. We got to talk about that for a little bit, man. Modern feminists are killing everything in sight, man. And you can't even fucking breathe these days, man. These broads are just, the overinflation of their female part is basically killing everything. They just they're just running roughshod on everything. And I saw one of the last things I seen Joe Budden. Joe Budden's network is pretty much going to be taken down because he went in there on his show, which he writes the checks for. Made some type of off-color jokes and stuff like that to one of his, I guess, one of his employees, Olivia Dope or whatever. But it's just it's kind of it's borderline ridiculous if you really think about it. This guy, put this broad on, right? He put her on and made a show, and that was his big mistake, man. I mean, Joe Budden. I don't know if you did it because you were going after, with the allegations and stuff like that, but you pretty much shot yourself in the foot. And what's funny is um, what's funny is when the truth is like one of the a lie is the biggest protector a woman can have. Along she because the thing about it is most dudes are so scared in this culture and they'll perpetuate a lie because a woman said it, it's the truth. And if you challenge it, then you got they got all these shaming tactics in place for protection. It's like you can't do it. And then the thing about it is not only you got women, which outnumber us, but you also got dudes that will co-sign their fuckery too. That's one of the biggest things. Is like, I'm like, for instance, myself, a lot of people label me as, misogynistic, mad, broke, or, don't get no pussy, or, whatever shaming tactics that they kind of use, um, to kind of silence you, and they kind of run roughshod on it. Just think about it. Joe Budden had a show. He hired these women, right? And Joe Budden, if you know what Joe Budden's MO is, I mean, his show is kind of what I call spicy. There's off-colored shit that goes on there. I'm not gonna even front. There's off-colored shit. They always say controversial shit. I mean, that's the show. If you listen to the females, what they do is they use. I mean, they it's this the show is very sexually charged. It's very sexually charged, and the women on there, they get on there all day and talk about sex. That's what they do. I mean, that's the whole premise of the show, because that's the only reason that a male audience would even be going to that show is to some pretty good looking ladies or whatever. That's the whole MO. But and I guess what happened is Joe Budden came in, and Joe Budden was out of pocket one day. He had a show. I guess he sat down on a show and he made some real inappropriate comments to one of the ladies on the show, Olivia Dope, and I guess it was so egregious that she felt like she needed to quit, and it was that bad. You know what I'm saying? It was that bad. You have a show that's sexually charged in nature, and but that moment she decided that he had gone too far on his network, his content or whatever. She felt like he had gone too far. And to me, that's some complete bullshit right there. It's a complete bullshit because you know what the fuck you signed up for. And the thing about it is I can see if he assaulted her or whatever. Now she's but the thing is so ambiguous. It's so um what can I say? I mean, and the thing about it is like uh you know s- some men, like, live through this world and think, no, there's no way these lovely ladies can fuck us over. There's no way. There's no way they wouldn't do that to you. Man, never underestimate the fucking power of a fucking woman. The fire of the goddamn vagina. Because the thing about it is the it's and I do blame let me take a step back. I do blame men for this because uh it the price of it, the attention that these females are getting, it's so over the top to where every woman thinks because she has something between her legs that a lot of simps and people on social media uh you know crave, that she fucking runs the world. Like she can decide that she wants to get offended or whatever at any fucking time that she wants to. That's crazy to me. It's like the thing about it is if you are in entertainment, why the hell would you hire? I mean, I would not take that fucking chance. I mean, I wouldn't even. I just wouldn't take the chance because think about it. Like at any time, and she knows that the power structure is going to believe her. She can decide at any fucking time that she wants to be offended. Like really, seriously. Like Joe Budden, I mean, like y'all niggas, boy. Hey, the thing about it is she can decide at any fucking time that she wants to be offended by something, or like you did something to her, or something, something. It's crazy the amount of perceived power that these women think that they have, and the thing about it is it's a gynocratic uh, takeover. I talked about this before. One of the guys I listened to, he was on a show, and I think his name Edward Anderson. He was talking about the gynocracy. At first, I didn't really realize, I didn't know what it was. And then he started to explain it, and then what reinforced it was I was listening to a guy named Rollo Tomasi. Rollo Tomasi was talking about what do you call it, the gynocracy, but he's talking about this is like stages, and it's basic. This happened all throughout history. Women basically take over shit. They literally a lot of times they're built to destroy, and you can tell in relationships they're fucking built to destroy. That's what they do. They I mean, because they're cunning, they're conniving, they're all these things. And if you ask any man that's been in a relationship, uh he a lot of times he didn't see it coming. And what they do is they basically connive and get everything to their advantage. So basically, what's happening now in this world, they're chasing what is called the alpha seed. You got to listen to Rollo Tomasi. He breaks it down. I'm just giving you a really dummy down version. Basically, uh, in reality, most women chase like 10% of the men, which what they would deem as alpha. Because what women, their whole MO is they want to get the best seed possible. They want to get impregnate with the impregnated by the best. You know what I'm saying? They're chasing the alpha seed. The thing about it is they don't want they want like total autonomy when it comes to mate selection. They don't want, and it's subconscious, they don't want like just a regular Joe Schmo coming up to them and try to mate with them. They want to make sure that they're getting the best seed possible. So what? Because a lot of times they go through the world and they eliminate, like most dudes are invisible until they and the guys that they want, and the guys that they want on a whole are a select few. Even if you have a woman right now, you think she loves you and shit like that, but she still craves that top 10% or whatever because they're naturally hypergamous. And the thing about it is whenever you say these type of things, like especially to a woman's face or a group of women, it touches their fucking soul. And the thing and how it touches them is, and you can and this is how you can test it. They go automatically to shaming tactics. You ain't trying white woman, not all women. Because the thing about it is these creatures are based on deception. They lie, lie, lie. I mean, that's just their default is deception. So I don't give a fuck if it's your sister, your mother, whatever. That's what they do. They lie, 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 and they're always trying to gain an advantage. That's why a lot of people, you know, that's why a lot of that's why they're able to secure a lot of shit, without even building it. Like, listen, Melinda Gates is gonna be the richest woman in the world. Jeff Bezos' house is gonna be she was like this she was the richest woman in the world, and she didn't uh invent or build Amazon or Mark. I mean, Melinda Gates didn't build Amazon, but you see all these ladies that are accumulating their resources and they didn't really do nothing to get those other than the right mate selection. So, but the thing about it is we're living in a culture where this shit is going to go in overload because there's so many of them and there's not enough men that they deem to be, worthy, but they're still using their power to kind of almost control everything. I mean, you basically they can like most women now are pretty much emboldened if they get hired, um, like basically some dudes. I mean, it's unfortunate. Even if you hire them and you own the business, you got to walk on eggshells because at any time she can decide that, hey, you know what, she felt whatever, offended or whatever they call it, and take your whole shit and sink your whole ship. And there's nothing you can do about it. If you complain about it, you're gonna get a whole army of not only simp Avengers, but you're gonna get the whole sisterhood after you. The black, white, Mexican, Asian, all the sisterhood is going to come after you. And that's crazy, man. It's a crazy ass concept, but at the end of the day, man, this is what we're living in. And and the thing about it is you guys can't take these broads lightly, because they will sink your ship. They do this shit across the fucking board. They do that shit in divorce court, child support court, everywhere. And and the thing about it is you really, 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 really like you got to be you just got to be careful. And the thing about it is the modern woman's uh we've never ever in history had a woman with a bigger ego than we have now. And I mean it's like one of those. I mean, the problem is like the ego of these modern women are so out of control. It's so inflated. It's so overvalued. It's so whatever. It's bad. And the thing about it is they cannot do any wrong, and they don't have to take any accountability for their fucking mistakes at all. That's why you have, especially in the black community, you have so many damn single mothers, and they fucking parade, uh, they ass around like, like they're some fucking prize. Like, not only, I mean, the thing about it is most men in this society now, we're getting the short end of the fucking stick. If you think about it. What dude is volunteering to take care of another man's child? Honestly, yeah, yeah. Like, like this is. I mean, this is a terrible deal. Not only are a lot of women are bringing a lots of baggage. They're bringing attitudes. They're bringing, entitlement. They're bringing all this fucking shit I mean, supposedly to the table. They're bringing all this bullshit to the table, and plus they're bringing another man's fucking child. You know, and they're asking you to pay full price for something that's supposed to be discounted. You know, with high miles. I mean, it's just like whatever analogy that you can use is fucking ridiculous, man. It's so ridiculous, so egregious, and and the thing about it is they get away with it because they got the power structure to do it. They got an army, and the thing about it is you got a lot of guys that are defeated. They've already been defeated by the system, and they can rough run. I mean, they can do whatever they want to do, basically. They can hot girl summer it up, and then when they get 40 and they get tired of getting, you know their insides beaten up. Um, they want someone to take care of them and then somebody else's bastard child. I mean, this is fucking crazy. I mean, if you think about the fucking concept, I mean, our grandparents must be fucking like rolling in their goddamn grave. You mean to tell me? So you mean to tell me like that because you have a vagina, you are entitled to demand all this bullshit? Now, everything. I mean, I mean, you can be a five, but because you have a vagina, you feel like you deserve this. You deserve a guy with six figures, six pack, 6 foot, whatever, six. I don't even know anymore, man. This shit is crazy though. It's virtually um nuts to think about the whole operation of how they're running fucking things. Is crazy to me. It's just nuts, like how these uh vagina power has got so out of control. It's just so it's sad. It's almost sad, you know. And the thing about it is, I got a son. Uh, my son is 4, but time flies. One day he's gonna be um, he's gonna be having to deal with these modern women. You know, these modern women, and because their egos and their um repulsive tendencies are so accepted that he's probably going to end up probably getting hurt several times, by some of these broads. It's like you can't reprogram humans, but you can I mean, you can't reprogram humans. Like men are going to be the same. Men are naturally repulsed by women, that sleep around like whores. Like the worst thing a dude could ever dream of is taking care of a man. I mean, uh, taking care of a man's child. I mean, don't let any. That's probably the worst fear of anybody, of any male. Like you get somebody pregnant and they lied to you, and you're sitting there taking care of somebody else's child. And then the other thing about it is you got to find out when you bonded with this, with this child, that it's not yours. And there's so many incidents where dudes don't find out until like 18 years that it's not theirs. They've been in that child's life, and then you figure out that that child doesn't have your genes, it doesn't have your legacy, it won't live on your legacy, and you're like, God damn. Imagine the damage, these uh, these guys go through. Imagine the damage some of these guys go through that grow up and they don't really know who the fucking daddy is. I mean, luckily I know who my daddy was because I look like him and I act like him, and he was around. But imagine if there's a lot of dudes that I knew. I mean, I don't know personally. Well, I don't mean they didn't know who their daddy was. There's a lot of women that just don't know who their father was. And imagine, your mama, telling you one day that, that uncle that you have, that's really your daddy. I mean, imagine how gut wrenching that's got to be, and these these baby mama terrorists. Shout out to Mr. Palmer, man. I got to if you can find this guy's email and get him on this podcast because I think he be dropping some gems, man. He be dropping some gems. Anyways, it's very unfortunate, man. It's very unfortunate about how we're this society it has got to. And the thing about it is, it was written. We've seen this, like they say that history repeats itself. Rome, a lot of these empires were taken down by the great old vagina. The birth canal. Well, the was it the giver of birth? But the thing about it is there's always, you know, uh, a downside to everything. Just like it's a downside to eating a lot of candy. It might taste good, but you know, you get cavities, you get all these types. It's just the same thing with vagina, man. Vagina might be good. It gives birth and all this type of stuff, and it feels good, but it does have a lot of I mean, it causes a lot of destruction. And you know, I mean, I'm not saying all women, but the thing about it is this is the thing is you got male nature, you got female nature. There's certain things that I've grown to learn about female nature that is that is very unflattering. And I think that when it's told, that's why you get a lot of pushback. You know, because there's certain things about them that that it's a hard pill to swallow for them to hear about themselves. And a lot of stuff happens in the subconscious, and they don't. I don't even know. You know what? I want to talk to a no, I don't want to talk that. I want to interview a psychologist, like, you know, maybe a woman psychologist, to pick their brain to figure out if some of you know, these feminazis realize what the fuck they're doing, when they destroy shit. I mean, it's just it's remarkable the destruction that these and the pain that these women inflict. And the thing about it is okay. The way I'm talking right now is very triggering to a lot of women, probably. If women dare to listen to this shit, it's very triggering. And their first response is usually like it's like clockwork. You know, who hurt you? Um, you know what? Who hurt me? Okay, let's be honest about that. I've had one long-term relationship in my life, and that was with my ex-wife. Did Was there some trials and tribulations, some pain? Yeah, of course. There was yeah, but I learned a lot too. I mean, there was a lot of good to it too. But you know, anyone and the thing of this is the part about it is like they say who hurt you, you bitter, whatever. Okay. Let's just say you're right about that. So what? It happened. Okay. All right. So if I talk about it, so now I can't talk about it. Right? Now it's also that I mean I need to get over it. Okay. If I'm over it, I can't talk about it. But the thing about it is they 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 relish when dudes stay in that perpetual cycle, um of victim, or what perceived victim. Because the thing about it is they on a daily basis they go through life inflicting so much pain, not pain, but being so unfair and being and victimizing the world, you know. And because that's what they do. It's I don't blame them because they can do it, because a lot of men are stupid enough to let them to do it. But I don't blame them. I don't blame them for basically victimizing them. You know, that's why I'm super hard on them, because I understand how fucking, you know, how devious, deceitful that they are. I mean, it's just it's it's terrible. It's really terrible, man. You know, I have a you know, even with my son's mother, I mean, like every interaction, I mean, there's some fuckery, and it's got to the point to where the fuckery, like dealing with calling the fuckery out, or unmasking it, does me no fucking. It just doesn't. It doesn't do any good for me. Even though you know it's happening, just let it. I mean, most of the time, just fucking let it go. Let her. I mean, like let her like lie and scheme or whatever. It doesn't fucking matter. You know. You know, when you pay that fucking child support, you know that fucking shit is not going to your son most of the time. When especially when you fucking see them with them lashes and all this type of shit, you know that shit is not. I mean, but the thing about it is just like you got. I mean, you got to get to a place, and you know it took me a long, I mean it took me a long, well it did, well I'm still working on it. It took me a long time to be like, all right, man, fuck it, just, you know, just turn a blind eye. I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean they're not gonna, I mean it's like being offended by what they do in their nature is getting mad at a fish for fucking swimming. That's what they fucking do. I mean, they're they're deceitful, they're conniving, they're cunning, they're that's what they do. And I understand like those fucking traits are very unflattering sometimes. You know what I'm saying? You know, they're just finessers, you know? It's like and and the thing about it is you trying to match wit with them is just not it's not even a good thing because most of them live in a false reality, a parallel universe, some like in delusion. So trying to have a pissing match with someone that lives in delusion is is useless because you're fighting a losing battle because they're never for instance, even if they're wrong, they're still not wrong. You know, it's something that you did to make them wrong or some shit. I don't even fucking understand. Like it's a it's just a they have an impeccable knack of just I don't know just escaping or deflecting or just modifying the truth. Like they just they won't take an L. They just won't take an L. I mean, that's just what it is. I mean, you can get mad. I mean, like getting mad about it doesn't do any good because they're never. I mean, most of the time they're never going to take an L, because most of the time is because they have backup. You know, they have simp defenders. They have society, they have laws, they have all these things, and they have the sisterhood backing them up, and they stay on code. So like trying to figure them out and trying to rationalize with them it's just not a, a productive thing to do, you know. It's not a productive thing to do. And you're better off just just kind of like letting it be. I can see why some of those guys just just go fishing all day instead of having to deal with them. I mean, I like to have sex with them, but other than that, I mean, I just don't. Um, I don't know. It's just it's a different thing. It's just like the whole thing of the whole notion of it's not. She's never yours. It's just your turn. You just have to understand that. And most men don't. I don't. I really don't think most men are even taught that. And one of the things that I've grown to understand is that even if you had your father in your life and stuff like that, there's a lot of stuff that he would not be able to tell you about your mother, about female nature, because the thing about it is you're gonna start looking at your mother crazy. Because if he was dead ass honest about a lot of shit, man, you'll start looking at your mother fucking crazy. You'll start looking at your sister crazy. If a lot of the men, I mean, that's why it takes sometimes is your uncles to kind of tell you the truth because they're gonna even if you have that guidance when you're young, you're gonna look at a lot of the women around you fucking crazy if you know what their nature is. If you knew their MO, how they don't play fair. They don't do anything fair. I mean, it's just it's not. And the thing about it is, as a kid, we're taught to play fair with them. And if anything, we're supposed to let our guard down and give them an advantage over us. And and I think most women grow up. Sometimes they don't really realize the advantage, but when they get old, like like the old, old and bitter, they realize the advantage that they have, and they definitely exploit the fuck out of it. They exploit the fuck out of it, man. That shit is crazy, man. That shit is fucking crazy. Um, But it takes you a long time to kind of get that shit in order to really understand their true MO. I mean, because they all have an agenda at the end of the day. The thing about it is you definitely as a man gotta put yourself fucking first, and do not take them fucking bitches lightly. Period. You can't do it. If you do it, you're gonna get fucked. That's what I'm saying. You're gonna get fucked. Don't fucking take those bitches lightly at all, man. You crazy as a motherfucker if you take these bitches lightly, man. These broads, they are paying for keeps. Listen, um, one of the things that when you grow up, right? Um, they always taught to be chivalrous. You know what I'm saying? Take out a woman. You know, buy her dinner, roll out the red carpet, compliment her, do all this fuck shit for her, right? Just go above and beyond, just blow out the red carpet and do this, take her on a date, spend like $200-300, buy that bitch, whatever, man. And the fucking bring her flowers. This is what the fuck they teach us, man. This is the fucking fuck shit that they teach us, man. That shit is crazy, man. It's crazy how they teach us this bullshit. They teach us, they indoctrinate men at a young age to worship these broads, and you should not fucking worship them. First of all, they're not fucking special. I mean, nothing can ever be further from the fucking truth. Something that's, I mean, first of all, I mean, most of the time they're not happy, but we know for at least a period of a week, they're probably not going to be happy. So, and, a lot of them can't, get out they can't leave the house without a bunch of war paint on, a bunch of makeup or fake hair or body shape or anything. They can't do that. I mean, in their natural state, I mean, they got to do a lot of work a lot of times just to even leave the house. I can just go get up, take a shower, put on my clothes and look decent. You feel me? I mean, that's not something that they can do. So it boggles my mind sometimes how, we're taught to put something like that on a pedestal. Um, damn, something like that we need to fucking put on a pedestal. Are you fucking kidding me, man? You gotta be out of your motherfucking mind. Man, get the fuck up out of here, man, with that shit. Y'all motherfucking crazy. Oh man, let me lick a shot. Get the fuck out of here, man. Are you serious, man? Are you fucking serious? Fuck up out of here, man. But anyways, I'm about to go on YouTube and I'm gonna do my show on that. But check out your boy Triple Black, aka the number one stunner, aka the bounce, aka three black hearses. It's murder, lick a shot. That's what I'm talking about, man. I'll let you boy.